Dad in a Rock reacts to Star Wars Andor. This is Sean.
And this is Chris.
And we are here. It's Star Wars Celebration Day. I didn't know until later in the day when Christopher texted us.
Oh, you didn't realize that today was Celebration Day, though?
I forgot. I was so prepped and waiting for tomorrow's like my D-Day for Obi-Wan and Stranger Things Season 4. I'm like hyped for tomorrow. They both
Okay.
So I didn't even think about that today.
I see. I knew nothing about Stranger Things. I've fallen off that boat a long time ago.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's the one I'm counting down to.
Yeah.
But then they dropped this. Like I didn't know. Like you said, Christopher was like, you guys following Star Wars Celebration? I'm like, no, I'm working. I knew you were working. I guess he was just bumming around. I don't know. And I'm gonna pay for that with the pie in the face.
Yeah,
there. If you guys don't know, check out our Halo after show, and you'll learn a little bit more about that.
You might get.
But as soon as he said, I was like, dude, I can't wait. I'm gonna go ahead and cheat and watch it. But no, let's talk about it after we watch it here.
Let's dive into it. Got audio?
Yeah, we're good. This dude's awesome. I don't know who he is.
Church bells are ringing. It's got to be a new planet, right?
Yeah, it's green. It's really not Tatooine. It's scrapyard planet.
They're so proud of themselves, so fat and satisfied. They're everywhere. They're watching me now.
Soon enough, these days will end. There will be no rules going forward.
People are standing up. That's what a reckoning sounds like.
Snap.
Dude, okay. So I wasn't excited about this show. I was like, you know what? It's going to be fun. I like the idea of seeing the grittier side, the underbelly, the dirty side of things. Seeing the Senate was fantastic. That gave me actual chills when I seen the Senate there. But
yeah,
I'm pumped for this now. I like the feeling of it.
I'm more pumped than I was. It looks very cinematic. It looks like Rogue One. Like
yes, I love Rogue One. That's
just I feel like how it looks. Not necessarily like story wise necessary, but like just how it's shot and like the wartime stuff, the battles. Like it looks like Rogue One.
And Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie. That's my when it's actually like May 4th. That's my go-to movie.
Out of all of them.
Out of all of them, yes.
Wow,
that's my go-to movie.
Yeah.
Now I'll watch some of the prequel ones as well.
Yeah.
I've got some hot takes on the originals now, but we're not going to get into that. Maybe in another show. But yeah, Rogue One's is my movie. That's the one I enjoy the most. I like how it's an encapsulated movie. We know what happened afterwards. Those actual characters, for the most part, had their story arc and they died in it, and that was that. The fact that we're getting Andor kind of breaks from why I like it so much, but it gives us his backstory and why they continued with what's her name, along with the movie, just because all the things that they've done themselves. So I want to see everything that they've done, all the dark things that they've done, everything that they had to do to get to that point.
What are your feelings on the fact that we're following a main character here that we already know is fate? Like, That's kind of almost the first time that. Well, I guess I mean Anakin was kind of the same way in the prequels. We know what happens to him, but I mean, does that take anything? Does that detract from your enjoyment at all? You think?
And no, I don't think so because I mean I think there's a lot that happened prior, that to where we seen him in actual in Rogue One.
Yeah.
So I don't have that big of a deal with it. I mean, it's kind of the same with Yoda. I mean, it's the same with a lot of. I mean, we're going into Obi-Wan. We know Obi-Wan's fate.
Right.
So I mean, in reality, they're kind of doing the same thing. Anytime they go backwards, a lot of the characters they go backwards with, we've already seen die in some manner.
Yeah.
This is the first character that we're learning something really new with because he's not in anything else, movie wise, TV wise. Maybe I mean I don't know of him in the books wise. I haven't run across him. I bet there's got to be some type of comic out there that's got him in it. But I mean, for that matter, it's fresh. You said it looks like we're going to a new planet, which it is fresh.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell. It looked very Yavany to me as far as the foliage. It didn't look Endor. Endor's like mostly like evergreens. This was
What
very
was
like
the
jungle
planet
type.
that Jen Urso's dad was hiding on
In the beginning of the
in the
film,
beginning of the film?
where
Yes,
it's mostly like rolling, like Scottish green, rolling hills, that kind of
yes.
thing. Yeah, I
It
can't
kind of had
remember
the
the name
same
of it.
feeling.
Yeah, but I got some of that too. So maybe we'll revisit some of that stuff. Maybe we'll. They like to introduce new planets though, and why not? I mean, we got a galaxy full of planets, so
Mhm.
there's no reason with each of these to introduce something new. That's totally fine.
Well, one of the
Um,
best things about Rogue One was the planet they went
yeah.
to. I
Hmm.
mean, that really lush, tropical planet. That was the first time we've seen a planet like that in Star
Yeah,
Wars. So
and
that was maybe a part of the draw to me, where it was like really eye popping.
yeah, it was something different for sure. Yeah, I'm really enjoying, and the you kind of hit the nail on the head from the get go. When this was announced, I was like, okay, it's Star Wars. It's going to be a Star Wars show, so of course I'm going to watch it. It's taken place in the same era, kind of just before A New Hope, where the rebellion's kind of popping up, right around that Han Solo story, right around the Rebels timeline, right? So I'm like, okay, that's a cool era. But I didn't think that we were gonna get so heavily into, like, the politics of it all, because Mon Mothma was pretty heavily featured in that trailer. The redhead that's walking through that, like, that party scene. And that's she ends up being, the leader of the New Republic eventually, like, the
Yes.
leader of the rebellion, and to see some of her story, maybe we see Bail Organa, Jimmy Smith's back. I mean, maybe we see, I don't know. Princess Leia would be pretty close to Carrie Fisher timeline, so we might not get any of that. But it's really cool to
Well, we
see.
may see a young. Now, okay. So this
It
is where
depends
a
on how
little bit
far
come.
back they're going.
Yeah, because there's a point where in the books, Princess Leia is with Bale, and
Yeah,
she's side by side with what's her name, Mom Mothma.
yeah.
So there's a lot of interaction that she has with Mom Mothma in this time period, at least already in books.
It would make
So
sense for her to be around for sure. Like it wouldn't be, thrown out of left field or something. Like if we see some form or fashion of a younger Princess Leia in the show, it would make total sense.
now the only reason I think that's not going to happen is Lucasfilm just came out and said they're not going to recast any characters as younger, versions of themselves
Right.
because of how badly Solo went. And so they've come out and said that. Now they said that after the fact this has already been filmed.
Yeah.
So that would kind of give them that loophole with this one here. But if this has already been picked up for a season two, a 12-episode season two.
It makes me wonder though, like, it seems like Carrie Fisher was almost more heavily involved in the sequel trilogy than even Mark Hamill was, because she was featured, in the first two for sure, and then they kind of used her likeness in the third one. I'm wondering if she had some sort of contract with Disney, like, hey, yeah, if you want to use my likeness, go ahead.
Or like what
Now,
they just did with Stan Lee.
yeah,
They got the rights and likeness of Stan Lee so they can put him into Marvel movies.
so yeah, I don't know if we'd see a whole scene with her. I don't know how the wizardry that they do now. I mean, with
Mhm.
the young Luke stuff in the Boba Fett Book of Boba and the Mandalorian, it's blown our minds. So, but the difference being is that like Mark Hamill is still here to kind of guide that, while
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher isn't. So I don't know if they're going to go that direction. But I mean, either way, we're gonna get characters that I think it'll be very interesting. We may even see like characters from Rebels pop up in this show.
Do you want to though?
I wouldn't mind it. I don't see them necessarily being featured players, but you know how sometimes Mandalorian has one episode where one random character will kind of pop in and then pop out depending on what that story is for that episode.
All I want from this era, honestly, when it comes to legacy characters,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a reference to the Ghost
Yeah.
or Fulcrum. I don't
Mhm.
have to see them. I just have to know. Like it would be deep cuts for Star Wars fans. So
Right.
all those Star Wars people out there that don't watch anything else and say, you know, how the galaxy is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
If they gave us a show that we know Andor, Cassian Andor himself,
Right.
but they give us nothing else that is familiar per se, besides some, you know, some settings and some, you know,
Mhm.
some of the, you know, the spacecraft and everything that we know that, you know, that's automatically familiar. But if
Yeah.
they drop a Fulcrum on us, or they drop, you know, Ghost is incoming, or
Right.
something like that, that we feel that we know what that is and who that is, that would
Yeah.
get me excited enough to know that they're out there in this time frame, but they're not interfering with this per se story.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, Andor is going to be the main character. Do you think we'll see that droid companion that he's with in Rogue One? Do we see how those two
Oh,
meet?
I think this is prior.
Oh,
K2SO. I think it's been confirmed that this happens prior to him and K2SO coming together.
that's okay. We've got if this is prior, then he's on his way. Because I'm sorry, you
Well,
just can't have an Andor
no.
show without him.
Well, seeing that there's already been a season 2, he has to be either at the end of this is where he, you know, go ahead and gets him, and he's
Hmm.
in all of season 2,
Yeah.
or he gets him at the beginning of season 2.
Okay.
And that's
Um,
that's like that was my thing. Just like we need, you know, we need some K2SO in this because you really begin to love his character and how smarmy and, you know,
yeah.
smart he was, and, you know, the whole deal.
And it's just a CG character too. It's not like I mean, you just get Alan Tudyk to do the voice, in a booth somewhere, and bang, there he's in the show.
Yeah. So I
Um,
mean, I'm a lot more excited for this show than I was 9 o'clock this morning.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
And like you said, it's Star Wars. Where they got us hooked, you know, on the line already. We were gonna watch it regardless.
Hmm.
But I'm waiting for it to come out now.
So that's Star Wars Andor. It's going to premiere at the very end of summer, last day of August this year. It'll be fun to look forward to that. It's going to be on Disney Plus, of course. Be sure to check us out around that time. I don't know. We'll make an announcement. We'll see what our slate looks like as far as what shows are out there. But I can see us doing an after show around Andor for sure. Check us out on dadandrock.com. Look for us on YouTube, of course. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. And check us out for all these trailers. We react to pretty much any big trailer that comes out. We're going to react to it.
Okay, until we see you next time, the force be with you.
See ya.